Hello, everybody. Welcome to Happiness Habits. This is happiness coach Cyril Joseph. The mission of Happiness Habits is to spread happiness and joy to everyone. Can you tell me about happiness habits?
Sure, here are a few additional happiness habits that you can try. 1. Practicing self care by taking time for yourself and engaging in activities that bring you joy and relaxation. 2. Cultivating a positive mindset by reframing negative thoughts and focusing on the brighter side of things. 3. Volunteering or doing something kind for others as acts of kindness can increase your happiness. 4. Pursuing creative endeavors and exploring your passions. 5. Learning something new, whether it's a language, a hobby, or a skill, can give you a sense of achievement and satisfaction.
I want to improve my food discipline. I want to eat more mindfully. I want to eat more healthy. And I also want to lose some weights. Can you encourage me and provide me with some guidance?
Of course, improving your food discipline can be a challenge, but it's definitely achievable with a plan and some determination. Here are some tips to help you eat more mindfully and lose weight. 1. Start by keeping a food diary to track what you eat throughout the day. This will make you more aware of your food choices and help you make healthier decisions. 2. Focus on eating whole unprocessed foods such as fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. 3. Make sure to get plenty of protein, but limit your intake of processed and sugary foods. 4. Eat slowly and savor each bite.
Sometimes I have intense cravings for sugar or for some sweet snacks. How should I find the courage or the willpower to avoid the cravings of sugar?
Cravings for sugar or sweet snacks are common and it can be difficult to resist them, especially when they're intense. One way to find the willpower to avoid these cravings is to replace them with healthier alternatives. Try to have a small portion of fruit, yogurt, or nuts instead of reaching for sugary snacks. Another tip is to drink plenty of water and stay hydrated, as thirst can sometimes be mistaken for hunger or cravings. Additionally, make sure to get enough sleep and manage stress, as stress can worsen cravings. Remember, it's okay to occasionally give in to cravings as long as you don't let it become a regular habit.
That's right. Sometimes I indulge in my cravings, but recently I've noticed whenever I'm stressed out, I tend to overeat, or I tend to eat unhealthy foods. How should I try to manage that?
Stress eating is a common response to dealing with stress, and it's understandable. However, it may not be the healthiest way to manage stress in the long run. To manage stress eating, try to identify your triggers and find healthy coping mechanisms to deal with stress instead of turning to food. Some healthy ways to manage stress include: 1. Exercise or physical activity, which can release feel good endorphins and help alleviate stress. 2. Practicing mindfulness or meditation to reduce stress and improve relaxation. 3. Engaging in hobbies and activities that bring you joy and help distract from stress. 4. Talking to friends, family.
Sometimes, when I go to my favorite restaurant, I intend to eat maybe a healthy snack, but instead I will order some unhealthy snack, and then it becomes a repetitive pattern. How should I reduce the frequency of my visits to my favorite restaurants, or how can I be more careful and avoid the temptations?
It's understandable that when you visit your favorite restaurant, the temptation to order unhealthy snacks can be strong. To reduce the frequency of visits or avoid temptation, try the following. Plan ahead and decide ahead of time what healthy snack you will order. Request healthy options or ask for modifications to make the dish healthier. Bring your own healthy snacks to eat before going to the restaurant. Go to the restaurant when you're not feeling hungry so that you're less likely to be tempted by less healthy options. Avoid going to the restaurant with friends who tend to order unhealthy snacks.
Sometimes the portion size that is served at a restaurant is very large. How can I avoid overeating when the food is in front of me? Because if I take the remaining food home, then it loses its texture or it loses its taste, and I don't like to waste food.
If the portion size at a restaurant is larger than you'd prefer, you can still enjoy your meal without overindulging. Consider sharing a main course with another person or asking for a smaller portion size, such as a half portion or a child serving. If you still have leftovers, try taking them home to enjoy later or ask for a takeout container and save it for another meal. Remember, it's okay to not finish everything on your plate and focus on listening to your body's cues of fullness.
Can you tell me more about the body's cues of fullness? How can I tune to it and become more aware of it so that will help me to control my calorie intake?
The body's cues of fullness is a natural way to regulate your calorie intake and feel satisfied after a meal. Here are some signs of fullness. 1. Feeling satisfied, comfortable, or a sense of fullness in your stomach. 2. A decrease in hunger pangs or cravings for food. 3. Feeling a sense of fullness even after eating small portions. 4. Decrease in the enjoyment of food. One way to tune into and become more aware of these cues is to practice mindfulness while eating. Focus on your food, choose slowly and deliberately, and pay attention to your body's signals.
Why is it that uh, even though we have so much abundance of food, it is very difficult to control our food intakes and we tend to put on weight with age?
Despite having plenty of food availability, it can be difficult to control our food intakes because of several factors. One factor is that many processed and fast foods are designed to be highly palatable and addictive, making it easy to overeat without feeling satisfied. Additionally, modern lifestyles often involve more sedentary activities and less physical exercise, which leads to a decrease in our daily calorie needs. As we age, our metabolism also slows, making it harder to maintain a healthy weight. Moreover, emotional factors such as stress or boredom can also lead to overeating.
What should I do when I feel that I'm not satisfied and then I go for these processed foods or unhealthy foods? How can I change in that moment? How can I change how I feel? Or how can I distract myself from eating those junk foods?
When you feel unsatisfied and have the desire to eat processed or unhealthy foods, it's important to identify the underlying reasons for your cravings and find healthy alternatives to satisfy them. Here are some suggestions. Try to delay the impulse to eat immediately by distracting yourself with another activity, like taking a walk, listening to music, or calling a friend. If possible, plan ahead and have healthy alternatives easily accessible at home or work so you can grab them instead of unhealthy food. Drink a glass of water, as thirst can often be mistaken for hunger. Notice when you're feeling stressed, bored, or tired, and
So, even though I've been trying to do mindful eating for such a long time, why is it that I keep failing and I'm not able to stick to my food plans?
it can be challenging to stick with a mindfulness eating plan. And it's normal to have setbacks. Some reasons why you might be failing to stick to your plan include 1. Lack of motivation or willpower, especially when faced with tempting foods or cravings. 3. Habits or emotional triggers that lead to overeating or unhealthy eating. 4. Lack of awareness of hunger and fullness cues or portion sizes. 5. Difficulties in planning and preparing healthy meals, especially with a busy schedule.
What are emotional triggers that can uh, get me to eat unhealthy? Can you give me some examples?
Emotional triggers can vary from person to person, but some common ones that may lead to unhealthy eating habits include 1. Stress or anxiety, 2. Boredom or loneliness, 3. Lack of self control or impulsivity, 4. Negative thoughts or feelings such as sadness, anger, or frustration, 5. Specific foods or situations that remind you of a previous emotional experience, e.g., comfort foods, eating in response to a stressful event.
Sometimes it's difficult when friends are there. I tend to eat with them and then I will end up eating junk food or I will drink some unhealthy drinks. How to avoid those kind of activities, or how to be more in control of food when I'm in a social gathering.
When you're in a social situation and there are unhealthy foods around, it can be challenging to resist them. Here are some tips to help you stay in control when attending social gatherings. 1. Eat a small healthy snack before attending the gathering so you're not as tempted by the unhealthy food. 2. Bring a healthy dish or offer to help with the food prep so there are more healthy options available. 3. Remind yourself of your food goals and prioritize your health over temporary pleasure. 4. Focus on socializing and enjoying the company instead of the food.
These were really good tips and suggestions for mindful eating. Can you summarize them and give me a good synopsis?
Of course, here's a summary of the key tips and suggestions for mindful eating. 1. Pay attention to your eating habits and identify triggers that lead to unhealthy eating. 2. Eat slowly and mindfully, focusing on each bite and savoring the flavors. 3. Listen to your body's cues of fullness and stop eating when you feel satisfied, not stuffed. 4. Avoid distractions during meals and focus solely on the act of eating. 5. Choose whole unprocessed foods and limit your intake of sweets and unhealthy snacks. 6. Stay hydrated and drink plenty of water throughout the day.
Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed listening to my video. And our website is www.happinesshabits.coach. And I would like you to visit, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and have a very good day. Spread happiness and joy to everyone.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure to help. I'll definitely check out your website and YouTube channel